Hi there, welcome back to Tuesday Talk. I hope my lighting's not weird, trying something a little bit different. So if you come on, feel free to say hi and, let me know what you're doing. Tell me, hey, you look really washed out. The light looks really weird. I can't see, whatever you need to tell me. So I'm really excited about tonight's projects. So I titled it Making Functional Art from Flea Market Finds. So I recently went to the flea market and found some really cool stuff for $1 each. So what I found were these soup tureen lids, and they're beautiful old china patterns, really pretty. There's a couple different ones. There's 4 of them here that we're going to be working with. This one's so pretty. They're all really pretty. And I have one almost done, but when I say functional, I kind of want to give you a little hint as to where we're going with this. Okay, this is a piece of fabric that I got at the flea market as well, and it sort of resembles a dish towel, so we'll put it in there. But that's basically what these are for. So you can put a dish towel in them, and it's functional, right? So I'm going to take this out so we can work with this. But this is the pattern on this one. And they have gold on them and everything. So they're so pretty. So I have them in various stages of completion. And I have one that's completely done. So I want to show you that one first. So it's kind of drying still. So I'm going to kind of hold on to this a little bit just to make sure. But this is a frame, another, this down a tad, a vintage frame with a lot of detail on it. And I painted it. I put a piece of foam core on the back of it. And you could use wood. I have another one here that has a wood backing. But just put a piece of foam core on there, and then I painted it all in Lucky Lavender, which is a Dixie Belle color here. And then I used white wax on it, and then I used gold gilding wax. So we're going to be doing that with a couple of them, but I just wanted to show you one that was completely done, and then we're going to start working on them here. So we're working in 2 colors. We're using Lucky Lavender, and we're going to be doing some decoupage, and we're also using a mixture of pinks. So I kind of got my old paints out and mixed up a couple different ones. I used pink champagne and soft pink and mixed them together. Okay, so this frame is really pretty, a nice old oval frame. And we're going to put this one on it, but we're going to paint it first. So we're starting fresh with this one. And there's my brush. Oh, so say, where's my paint? But it's underneath this frame. I was drying it on there. Okay, so like I said, I mixed a little pink champagne and a little soft pink together. So it's a real pretty pink color. I'll put this down so you can see what I'm doing. So I hope you all are doing well this evening. And I also hope that's not too dark. I have a feeling that's dark. I could try something different with the light, maybe. Hang on a second. I just didn't want shadows. But I think we have shadows anyway, so let's try that. I think that's going to be a little lighter. Okay. All right, so again, we're using a mixture of pinks. So I'm going to get this one started first so it can be drying while we're working on some other steps on some other ones. So I was really impressed that I got these for $1 a piece. I just thought that was a really good deal because I just thought they were so pretty. They had all kinds of stuff for $1. I got that fabric, I think, for $1. I got an old light fixture. I love flea marketing. I don't know how many of you guys do, but I really do. I also took a trip to St. Vincent de Paul this morning and purchased some furniture that you'll be seeing made over. All kinds of cool projects coming up. While I'm painting here, I'll just ask you if you would go to Vintage Forge. It's an Etsy shop, Vintage Forged, and you'll find a page on Facebook and you'll find it on Instagram. So if you'd follow along, so it's like past tense, forged, F-O-R-G-E-D, Vintage Forged. So look for that. It has a blue background with a white anvil on it. And if you would favorite the shop, that would be awesome. And also an update on our subscribers. I think we're at 679. So one more, we'll be 20 away from 800 or 700. I like my math better, my original math. 20 away from 700, and then 300 away from the short-term goal of 1,000 subscribers. Of course, we want to grow beyond that, but that's our first stop along the way. And then don't forget, we're giving away $500 worth of product when we reach 1,000 subscribers. And you can win that by going to the La Vintage Decor Instagram page and just scroll down until you see the post with the $500 winning products on there. And just follow the instructions. And you'll be entered to win. Okay, so we have a first code on here. You can probably see if I missed. Yeah, I missed stuff. I can see it in the camera. So this one will be putting 2 coats on. So I'm going to set this one aside to dry. I do have my heat gun here if it doesn't dry completely. Okay, and now, well, let me put this one out of the way. Okay, and now I'll put this up a second. So I want to show you another one that we're going to do some fancy stuff with. This is just a regular cabinet door. Okay, so we're going to use this, and we're going to fancy this up a little bit since it's pretty plain. We're going to use some decoupage paper from Dixie Belle. This is called Colorful Floral with Black and White. It looks a little wild, but I think it's going to be cool. I still might want to embellish this frame a little bit more, but this is the one that's going to go on this one. So I'm going to set this aside a second, and we're going to work on decoupaging this pattern on here. Okay, I'm going to put my brush away so it doesn't dry up. Close my paint. So how's your week going? Or is it too early to tell? All right, so let me put this down. Okay, so again, we're going to be using this beautiful decoupage paper. And the decoupage medium we're going to be using is Dixie Belle's flat coat, clear coat in flat. All right, so let's get this paper out of here. Now each one of these comes with 3 sheets. And what's cool about these is they're all meant to match. So we're going to be cutting the edges off so it fits in the edge. Okay, so I only put 1 coat of paint in the middle. Okay, so we'll be cutting that extra border off, but this will go in the middle. And then we'll take, this will just automatically match up with this one. And this corner will match up with that one. Now we'll be cutting the rest of this off. And I'm trying to think how I had that decided in my mind that that would line up. I think the other end of that one. We'll figure it out. But anyway, I'm going to get started by cutting the edge off. All these edges. So this is from Dixie Belle's Bells and Whistles line. If you haven't checked out the transfers and the silkscreen stencils and the decoupage paper yet, and the new stencils, you really should. A lot of cool, really cool patterns. There's everything from steampunk, romantic floral, you name it. I'm going to be doing a trunk pretty soon, and I'm going to call it a steampunk trunk. We're going to do all kinds of fun stuff with it. Again, right now I'm just cutting off the border of these pages so that they will fit together nicely. I missed a little bit there. And I think I'm not using the most sharp pair of scissors in the world. Yeah, definitely not. So bear with me a minute. So if you've never used a sealer in lieu of, say, Mod Podge, it works beautifully, especially on furniture pieces. And I like using the clear coat in flat because it doesn't give it any extra sheen that I don't want. But if you do want a satin or a gloss finish, either one of those will work just as well. Okay, so I have the borders cut off of this, and I'm just going to set this in place. And I'm going to go ahead and put the decoupage medium on, which in this case is the clear coat flat. Right now I can't see if you have any comments, but please feel free to leave me comments, and if I don't catch it right away just because I have the screen put down, then I will catch up with you. I always complain every week, and I always tell you that when we have 1,000 subscribers, my videos will be so much better because we won't have this weird screen situation. I can only go live from my laptop. There's other apps that you can use, different devices, but it seems like they kind of cut down on the signal, so it's a trade-off. So anyway, I just painted that with the clear coat, and now I'm gonna just put this in the corner, and I hope I put it the right way. Okay, I'll be able to flatten that out with the brush. And if you get any wrinkles, you know, I don't freak out about it. I think that's kind of part of the charm, especially when, you know, we're highlighting vintage stuff here. So I think it makes it look kind of cool. That's just me. But I'm going to completely coat this then with the clear coat and make sure it's all smoothed down. Even if there's wrinkles in it, you just want it smooth and completely adhered. Okay. You can almost kind of see the little fibers in this. So I'm going to cut the borders off of another one. I suppose I could have had a couple of these cut. That would have been good. But this way you get to see the whole process. Man, these scissors are bad. I'm so anxious to see what this will look like. Like I said, this frame is kind of plain, so this is really jazzing it up. But I do think that I want to do something else to the frame. So this was going to be one of those ones that I finish and show you on my Instagram page later. But we're definitely finishing a couple of these tonight. Ah. All right. So this one we're going to put, let me see if I can get it to match up. Yeah, this is the way this one matches. And I'm going to overlap just a tad because of the way that I cut it. Then I'm going to crease it down here so I know where to cut. I'm going to move it up a little. So I have a nice crease here, and I know exactly where to cut. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put the decoupage medium or the clear coat on the bottom here. And one thing that's nice about this flat, I got some of the clear coat here on here. Since it dries flat, you won't see it on there. It won't dry glossy or look any different. So okay, into the corner and overlap in just a tad. And again, we don't need perfection because also our lid is going to be in the center of this. So I'm just using the brush and smoothing this out. And I personally am not worrying too much about wrinkles because I think it makes it look cool. I like the black and white flowers in amongst the colorful flowers. I think that looks really cool. Okay. Now let's see where we are here. Let's see if I can match this up. Because I know this one will match up. Yeah, maybe I should work on this one first, get this one matched. See which way this is going to go. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm going to leave that edge for last because I know that one goes up against that other one. That way I'll remember. I have a fan on, so my paper's blowing around a little bit. Okay, so this edge that I'm cutting is going to go up against, it's going to butt up against the side of the top sheet. Just love this pattern. So yeah, that's going to go right there. So again, I'm going to crease so I know where to cut. And hopefully I can get that bottom piece matched up nicely. We'll save the smallest one for last. Yeah, that way. All right, let me get that coated. I should probably turn this around towards me so I can see what I'm doing. And lift this whole piece up and put it in the corner. All right. All right, one more piece to go here. Now let me see. I think no matter what we do, as long as, I think that's it. So it seems like, well, that's not perfect. I know that's not exactly right because this is in there. And we don't see that on that one. So let me see if I can find another piece that's the match. I think this could work. Let's see. That's that one. Actually, I think we'll just do this. All right, let me cut that. And try to make it a tad bigger. I just love this pattern. I think it's gorgeous. And you always want to paint behind it. Like, don't put it on the raw wood or put it on something dark because you'll see through it. I could have painted white under here, but I just painted the whole thing in the purple. And because it's a light color, the Lucky Lavender is a light color, we got away with it. Okay. So we have that all coated. I'm just kind of going over this frame a little bit with any excess. Like I said, because it's flat, it's not going to show up. That was a little mud I had on there. When I say mud, I mean Dixie Belle mud, not dirt, because this was a cabinet door, I was sealing up the holes where the hinges and the handle was. All right, putting my lid on the paint, and I'm going to put this up here. I'll use the brush handle. Okay. Hi, Dawn. I couldn't see comments when I had it down. So are you able to see everything real well? Okay, let's take a look at that. Okay, so obviously we're going to put a hanger on the back of it, and I would like to put some other embellishments on this, but this is, as soon as I can uncover it, this is the one that's going to go on this. So we're going to be gluing it with E6000 so that it's going to be a sturdy hold on there. Okay? So that is one that we're going to set aside. And again, I might embellish this one a little bit further. They all have a little bit of gold on them, so I'll definitely be putting some gilding wax in the corners and stuff, but just to make it a little fancier, but I still think that one needs a little bit more something. So, all right, so let's come back and put a second coat of paint on this guy, because I have some other things that I want to do on another one that I have started over there. Let me find my bag that had my brush in it. That's my Lucky Lavender brush. Here it is. Okay, so, when you're painting, it's always a good idea to just put your brushes in a baggie so that you don't have to wash them out or soak them, or they don't dry out every time. So that's a good little tip. Okay, so we're going to give this a second coat. Let me put this down. So it's mostly dried, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and put the second coat on it. And then after we come back to it, we'll probably have to use the heat gun on it to get it completely dry before we wax it. So this color came out just a tad lighter than soft pink. The soft pink is, let me see, maybe a cotton candy color of pink. I think champagne is like a barely there pink. It's like an almost a white color with a pink cast. So we went just a shade darker than that. So I think it's going to look really pretty with the white wax on it and the gold embellishment, the gilding wax. You could distress this if you wanted to. You could sand distress it and bring some of that old wood look back out if you wanted to. You can do whatever you want. You can wet distress it with a baby wipe. That's another alternative to using sandpaper. I just love these old frames. I just think they're gorgeous. Okay, good enough for a second coat. We're going to set this one aside. Back in the baggie with you. Yeah, we're definitely going to use the heat gun on this one, most likely. Okay, I'm going to put this up on a paint jar. Wipe off my hands a minute. All right, so check this out. I love this lid. I think this one's so pretty. I love the pattern in it. And the corresponding frame to that one has a paper towel. Okay, is this. Isn't that pretty? So this one was just a frame, and I put the foam core in the middle, and it was already pink on the outside, and it was white on the inside. So I just gave it one coat of the pink, and we're just going to go with it. The inside could probably use a second coat. So let's go ahead and put another coat on the inside on the board, because it was black. And I'm just going to use the paint that's on the brush already, and I think it'll be enough. Okay, yeah, that was enough to give it more coverage. But the outside is all, but I'm going to go ahead and hit that with a heat gun a second, just because when I am done, I want to show you what it looks like with the lid on it. Okay, see what a heat gun can do. I always recommend that you don't use them, but I like to hurry up and dry things on videos. But you have to be careful not to put the gun in one place for long, because that's what happens. You get a little bubbles. But the good thing is we're putting a lid on it, so it won't really matter, right? Okay, let me put this down. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do to this one is add some white wax. And that's Dixie Belle's white wax, and I am using the Best Dang brush. Okay, And you just generously get the wax on there, and you're just going to go all around all these detailed areas. Just like dark wax will stay in the details, the white will stay in the details. And when you wipe it back, then you see more of the pink color. And I love this brush for this because it's just so quick and easy. It just pretty much does the whole thing in one swipe. I don't always wash out wax brushes all the time, and I had used Big Mama's butter on this brush, and it smells like Orange Grove. So it smells really good. I'm not going to bother putting that in the middle. Okay, so we have it white waxed. And then we're going to take a paper towel and just wipe back some of that wax. It's a little hard to tell with this light, but you can see the pink more, and then the white kind of stays in the recesses. I love this little sweet area in here. It's really cute and lacy. I like it. Okay, so now we're going to take gold gilding wax. Where's my scissors? Because I want to use them to pry open this lid. This might be some reason why they may be dull. Okay, so this is gilding wax in gold. And all I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to use my fingers and just get some wax on there and just ever so lightly just go across the high points. And the gilding wax will just stay on the high points. This is just really subtle, but it just adds that extra touch to it. And I'm going to do the outside too. Just kind of do a circular motion on there so it's just hitting all those high points. You can use a brush with gilding wax. I just like to use my finger. Gilding wax smells so good. I don't know what it is about it, but it just smells amazing. So can you imagine a whole collection of these on a wall? in a kitchen or a dining room. I mean, you don't have to use them for dish towels. I mean, that's just a function, but they are gorgeous. I think it would make a really great grouping, especially, the fact that we did our collection in complementary colors, but you could do whatever you wanted to. You could pull out different colors if you wanted to do, say, the one I'm going to use on here has a lot of greenery, has a real pale blue. I mean, you could do a whole collection and do whatever you wanted to. That would be a great way to fill up a dining room wall. If you needed a big piece of art, you could use several small pieces instead. We have a really old building, and it's a restaurant in Hollidaysburg that's called the U.S. Hotel. And if you've ever been there, their art on their walls is really super cool. It's just, they just do found object art like this, even in the ladies' room. It's just really cool. And I got a lot of extra wax on there, but that's okay. We're just going with it. And I'll tell you what, we'll do a little bit more on this frame part, on this inside frame, just to kind of even it up since I got a little carried away. All right, get the corners. Love it. I'm going to hold this up. Okay, isn't that pretty? Now, here's the thing. So on the big one, we're going to use that oval one, I think. So I have two lids that have pink. I'm going to put the screen down a minute. I just think proportionally, I just think the oval one should go on the oval frame. This one. I'm going to put this one on this one. It doesn't want to fit that well. Okay, let's see. Because that one will fit right in the middle. Let's see. I like this one better on here. Okay, so we're going to be using some E6000 glue to hold this on here. So it really only has 4 points that it's going to be adhering to. So E6000 is, you can get it at the hardware store, I think even like the grocery store. There's all different kinds of places that you can get this glue. And I'm just putting it on those contact point areas. So it's a clear glue. It's a little stinky, so you want to watch, but I just have it on those areas that are going to make contact. So all I can do with this is let it dry. So I won't be picking it up for you to see it, but you can sort of see it that way, right? Okay, I'm going to set this one aside. And of course, you want to check the Instagram page when they're all done. So tomorrow I'll be showing them all on the Instagram page. All right, so we have the last one to finish. And I'm going to use the heat gun on it a little bit. I hate to do that, but in order for us to finish it, that's what we need to do. This one I'm not going to worry so much about because that wasn't foam board, it's wood under here, so this should dry evenly and quickly since it had a head start. You can tell this is the side I had away from me because I missed some in the frame there. So I'm just going to grab my brush and use what's on it and just touch that up real quick because we're going to be drying it anyway. So let's just get that touched up real quick. And along the edge. I'm sure you guys were seeing that all along, hoping I would get it. I always do that when I'm watching paint videos. I'm watching them paint and I'm thinking, oh, you missed a spot. Can you get that? All right. This will take just a minute to dry. So I'm using a heat gun, not a hair dryer. So these can get super hot. You have to be careful with them. It's so much better to let it air dry. But because we're in a hurry tonight, don't want to keep you all night. We want to dry it as much as possible. All right, we're pretty good here. We're going to do the same thing we did with the last one with the wax. So using the Best Dang brush with the Dixie Belle white wax, we're just going to brush along this frame. And you know, like I said, we could easily use a dark wax for this too. But I just kind of wanted to go with the white just because of the delicate colors and the delicate patterns on those china lids. All right. I don't think we're seeing a whole lot of difference in this light, but I guarantee you when I post it, you'll see. I'm just wiping that back. And then again, we're going to do a little gilding wax. And I'll use my fingers on that. Just pull this back a little so you can see. Just want to hit the high points. And again, you could use a brush. Okay, now we can go in along here, along this rim too, and just kind of lightly, and it doesn't have to be even. Just kind of just touching that, just to highlight it, because it almost will give it effect like it worn off. It's worn off. And I'm also going to hit this little ridge along the outside too. Come around to your side so you can see. I like this touch that it's giving, just because all of the lids have a little bit of gold on them. So we're just kind of mimicking that feature. All right. Now this one's done. I'm going to wipe my hands. Now, I made the decision then to use that oval one on the other one. So when I put this one down, I can kind of line it up with the frame, but I want to make sure that my handle is in the up and down position, because if I would want to use this to hold a dish towel, that would be the position that you'd want to put it in. So let's just flip this over and get our E6000. Because this is dry, I'm going to go ahead and just run a bead, a nice generous bead of this along the edge. This stuff is fantastic. I have used it in the past for garden art, like that you make with glassware. And I've had it in my yard for years, and it doesn't come apart. This tube's getting a little beat up. All right, so again, we want to put the handle going up and down. Try to get this centered. If I had my yardstick here, that would be great. We'll use our brush. Okay, I'm just trying to measure against the side. It seems pretty even. So I'm just going to put pressure on here, and I'm not going to, whether I'm going to try to lift it up. I can hold it and try to lift it up to give you a little recap of everything we've done. Let's see. We have been on 53 minutes, so we're under an hour. But I'm just going to hold on to this and pull it up. But isn't that so pretty? I just love it. Okay, so there's that one. Let me put this one aside. And then we have this one drying as well. That one's so pretty with that ornate frame. And then the first one we had done, sort of, and I'm going to take the chance that it's all dry. We have this one. Oh, these would make a fantastic group. Yeah, this frame is so plain. It definitely needs some fancying up. Even if we just put gilding wax in there, but I think we need some molds and stuff. So I'll let you know what I come up with. We'll have that in the middle. But this one's definitely a departure from the other ones with the decoupage paper. But I think they're all pretty cool. And I hope you enjoyed watching, and hope you got inspired to do a project like this yourself. And let me know in the comments. Let me know if that's something that you'd be interested in. And also, I'm going to start putting my affiliate link in the description box. Honestly, when I do the Tuesday talk, I typically don't go back and put a whole lot of comments or anything. I usually do that on my edited videos, but I'm going to start doing that. So if you're interested in purchasing Dixie Belle paint, just you can use that affiliate link. So it doesn't cost you any more. You order it directly from Dixie Belle, but I get a little kickback. So it would be awesome if you would use that link to order your Dixie Belle. Or if you're local, of course, come in the store to La Vintage Decor and see what's new. Thursday. I couldn't even tell you right now what we're doing for our video on Thursday. I have some ideas, so yeah, I'll figure that one out, but I'm sure it'll be something interesting about decor. So we have that going on, and then Saturday, I think we're doing a china closet, a step-by-step on a china closet, and in using silk paint. So you'll want to make sure that you see those videos, and if you haven't subscribed, of course, I would just love it if you did, and like and share. That would be awesome, and help me to get to that 1,000 subs. So I hope you have a wonderful evening and you're enjoying your summer. And I will talk to you soon. Don't forget to look on Instagram to see all these together. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.